All right, this might be the most important video I've ever made. I had an epiphany lately because I've been really doing some reflection and thinking on, career in comics, what it looks like currently, and how to destroy it. It feels so fragile all the time, and I hear this from other creators as well, that if you're making comics, the whole thing could just go bust. It just feels like the wheels could fall off and you could never make a comic again. Like it'll be over. And so I'm pulling up an old tweet here from Aubrey Sitterson, not because I want to go back in time or anything like that, but because this is so relevant. I made a video when I saw this tweet come out, to give it some attention, but I'm telling you, this is actually very wise. Today it is very wise. So I want to get into that. First off, check out Fatal on Indiegogo. We just passed $93,000. Thank you so much, everybody. That's huge. We've actually seen some movement in the campaign, which has been really great. I want to hit 100K. I've talked about a stretch goal. I think what I want to do, I think it's time. I think we're going to do a patch when we hit 100K. And so you'll all look like Fatal workers. You could put it on your jacket. I think that would be pretty fun. So check it out. Back it if you haven't yet. Charlie's making some fantastic progress. I'm not going to show you any more pages. We've shown so many pages, but they're coming in, looking great. I'm really excited to get this book out to you. All right. So Aubrey Sitterson said this. When was this? September 2020. It wasn't that long ago. This isn't that far ago. But you have to understand a little bit of context first. Recently, this week, I've seen somebody will say on the other side of the aisle, posting stuff, outrageous stuff on Twitter, essentially accusing Comicsgate of conspiring to murder. Anyway, it's so ridiculous and over the top, so ridiculous that it's just clearly not true. But the important thing to take from this is that you have somebody online that is saying outrageous things, accusing specifically by name specific people. They're clearly looking for a reaction. Why? Because they need attention. That's exactly why I'm not showing you any of these tweets. It's not important. That is not important. What is important here is what Aubrey Sitterson said back in September of 2020. Aubrey said, a few years back, I did irrevocable damage to my career after getting caught up in online political histrionics. Don't make the same mistake I did. Take a step back, assess what really matters, what really makes a difference, and realize that it ain't on social media. This is wisdom that has not been headed to people. Not enough people have paid attention to this. Okay, now look at this. If you look up the word histrionic, this is important. I know everyone's smart. They know words. This is important. It's dramatic, exaggerated dramatic behavior designed to attract attention. Now, at first you'd think, was Aubrey Sitterson acting in a dramatic way to seek attention? Maybe he was. That's possible. I would argue that he got caught up in somebody else's political histrionics. You see where I'm going here? I brought this full circle. There are several people that I have seen, and probably several more that I have seen over time, that will make crazy, eccentric claims on Twitter, on social media, so that they can get attention. Okay? The reason they do this is essentially, you could translate this into they're asking their friends to either give them money or for their friends to sacrifice their own career in comics in order to give this person attention. And when I look at this, that's exactly what I think. And kudos to Aubrey Sitterson for not having me blocked on Twitter. I do appreciate that. This is a big deal. This happens all the time. I usually notice it when it's happening on the far left. You see it quite often in the comics industry, but I think it'd be a mistake to say that it doesn't happen also in indie comics or on the right, that it doesn't also happen around other topics that aren't political, they're personal, they're, whatever. And essentially, if you translate what somebody is saying on social media, some kind of cry for attention, you could take a step back and say, what is this person really saying? What they're saying often is that you should give them attention. And if you're not giving them attention enough, they might ask you to sacrifice your career in comics in order to give them enough attention. That's insane. I had a friend a long time ago tell me, when I started getting caught up myself in a little bit of histrionics. I don't know that it was political, but it was histrionics online. And they said, would this person sacrifice their career for you? Essentially, would they damage their career for you? Would they do the same for you? And then, you have to take a step back and think about it. And the answer is almost always no. So don't do it. If somebody is acting a fool on social media because they want attention, they're going to tell you that their life is in danger, that their career is in danger, whatever. Look at it skeptically. If this person is really seeking attention, if it's histrionics and they're on there for either attention, money, or whatever benefit they see from it, and it is going to be damaging to you, don't do it. Don't fall into that trap, because it will irrevocably damage your career like it did Aubrey Sitterson's. Okay, this is real. How do you avoid this? It's simple, really. Just don't. Just let people act fools. You don't have to participate. And they might get upset at you and try to enforce it, like behind the scenes. And that's where some of this comes in. That's why a whisper network exists in comics. And that is how essentially the histrionics that play out in public can be enforced in private. That's how they apply pressure. This happens far too often. And you could just not participate in it. You could delete Twitter. Still, it always seems like a good option. And just understand that this kind of stuff does not actually help your comics career grow. It hurts it. It might seem like because, so-and-so is getting attention, for making these insane, wild claims of murder conspiracies and stuff like that. It might seem like, that now they're being talked about. They're getting attention. They're being talked about in a very negative way. And in the short term, maybe they get a job or something. A publisher extends a job to them out of pity, but it will not last, because the only way that they know how to grow their career is to go back to the well of stoking up histrionics so that they can further themselves. Anyway, so that's important. Ask yourself that question. Would they do the same for you? And second, don't ask anybody to damage their career for attention. Make good comics, get good attention, get funny attention. Who has really inspired me lately? This guy, Michael Bancroft, because I went on his stream last week and it was fun. He does a good job. Look at him. He's wearing a pirate shirt. He does really interesting stuff to get attention in a positive, fun way. This is fantastic. Be like Michael Bancroft. Don't be like Aubrey Sitterson was, though he's not now, to be fair. Kudos that he made this statement. Anyway, so appreciate you for watching. Thank you for all your support with Fatal. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you ever gotten caught up in online political histrionics or non-political histrionics for that matter? And I will see you in the next video.